When it comes to troubleshooting user issues, Cloud Path probes help you answer an important question. Which hop along the path between user and application cause the highest latency? The setup process is very similar to a web probe. To get started, you can either go to the Probes tab in the Configuration menu or select Add Probe for an application. As before, enter a descriptive name for the probe and then select Cloud Path as the probe type. Selecting a web probe for the Cloud Path probe to follow is recommended best practice and is required for use with zTunnel version 1. Because zTunnel version 1 is only for HTTP-based connections, the Cloud Path probe needs to be explicitly configured to follow the path of a web probe. As we saw earlier, with the web probe, you have the options to configure probing and exclusion criteria. Again, limiting the number of probes is especially important for internal applications through Zscaler Private Access. You should only probe for users, user groups, and departments that actually use that application. For example, the custom application you had selected earlier is only being used by a specific department, so it makes sense to limit the probe only to users in that department. You now have the option to configure additional parameters for the probe. Remember that the available protocol options are ICMP, TCP, UDP, and adaptive. Depending on the protocol you select, you'll get slightly different options. For example, with UDP selected, there is a default UDP port number that can be changed. Also, keep in mind that TCP and adaptive mode generate numerous send packets to initiate connections, and that may cause problems with remote access boxes that are typically used in small offices or home offices. Packet count, interval, and timeout are advanced options which are really changed. For example, increasing the packet count or reducing the interval will increase the fidelity of the Cloud Path probe, but will also generate more network traffic. Before moving on to the next step, you do need to enter the tenant name or fully qualified domain name for the target host. Review the Cloud Path probe configuration to make sure everything is correct and then click Submit. You will now see the new Cloud Path probe displayed for the custom application. As always, activate the changes. To recap, Cloud Path probes collect packet loss, latency metric, and details for each hop along the path from the user to the application.